Welcome! The purpose of this tutorial is to get you started using this Excel Life Insurance Needs Analysis workbook. This is a 4-tab workbook. Each tab at the bottom of the screen corresponds to a separate spreadsheet. We are on the Introduction spreadsheet. Next, you'll see the Input spreadsheet. Then you'll see the Output spreadsheet. And finally, you see the Calculation spreadsheet. When working with a client, you'll mainly use the input sheet and the output sheet. This is the input sheet. It has 6 sections, a section for general information, followed by 5 sections, each representing a life insurance need. We'll take each section one by one. This is the general information screen. I entered the insured's age, which is 37, her spouse's age is 35, and their child's age is 3. Next, we see the after-tax yield on life insurance proceeds. I entered 5%. Let me explain. For certain needs, such as salary replacement, a fund will be created with term life insurance at the insured's death. What I'm saying here is this fund will yield 5% per year on an after-tax basis. Next, we see the insured's expected retirement age, which is age 67, and finally is the insured's maximum life expectancy, which I put in age 92. Perhaps there's a 1% chance the insured outlives age 92. Need 1 is final expenses, which include final medical expenses, the funeral, and the current balance on the couple's credit cards. We are assuming the cost of these needs will inflate at 3% per year. The spreadsheet will recommend the client purchase enough whole life insurance to cover these needs given she dies near her maximum life expectancy, which we input on the previous slide at 92 years old. Need 2 is salary replacement. If our insured dies prematurely, term life insurance proceeds will be used to set up a fund from which her spouse will take annual distributions representing the family's share of her earnings. The family's share of her earnings is her salary less her taxes, less her self-maintenance costs, which include her share of the food budget, her automotive expenses, and so on. Now turning to the sheet, we enter her current salary and the taxes on it. Next, we enter her self-maintenance cost, which is estimated to be $25,000. We are making an assumption that her salary will inflate at 3% per year. As you know, it is likely that her spouse and child will be eligible for Social Security survivor benefits if she dies. If the insured dies today, we are assuming the spouse and child would each receive $15,000 this year after taxes. Finally, we enter our estimate of the Social Security benefit inflation rate. By using 2.4%, we are assuming the Social Security benefits will inflate 2.4% per year. Need 3 is retirement contributions replacement. First of all, we are assuming the insured is on track for retirement. If this is not the case, that should be addressed first. Second, we are assuming the spouse is relying on the insured's retirement plan too. If this is not the case, you can input all zeros on this screen. Now, a little bit of background. If the insured dies before she retires, her retirement plan will miss her future contributions along with any employer matching, and this will reduce the funds available at retirement. Unmet contributions, however, can be made up for using term life insurance. That is, if the insured dies before she retires, term life insurance proceeds will grow alongside the insured's rolled over retirement funds in order to provide a secure retirement for the spouse. Now let's look at the input screen. In my example, the insured and her employer each contribute 5% of her salary each year to her retirement plan. There's $25,000 in the plan right now, and the retirement portfolio is expected to yield 9% per year going forward. Finally, the insured and spouse have indicated that 75% funding will be adequate, meaning if we're planning on retiring on $2 million together, $1.5 million will be the appropriate amount for the spouse alone. Need 4 is education funding for the couple's child's 4-year college degree. Now let's take a look at the input sheet. The cost of a college education today is assumed to be $25,000, and college expenses are expected to inflate at 4% per year. If the couple has a 529 plan, the balance now is entered along with the plan's expected annual yield and the couple's expected annual contribution going forward. If a 529 plan does not exist, simply enter 0 for the 529 plan balance and 0 for the expected annual contribution. However, always enter the expected 529 plan yield. The spreadsheet will estimate the life insurance proceeds necessary to fully fund the existing 529 plan, or if one does not exist, to fully fund a new 529 plan. Our final need 5, is the mortgage payoff. The spreadsheet will calculate the amount of term life insurance necessary to pay off the couple's mortgage at the insured's death. Simply enter the monthly mortgage payment, the number of months remaining on the mortgage, and the mortgage's interest rate. This is an excerpt of the output sheet. It shows the life insurance need over the next 20 years. The first column is the insured's age. As she ages, the amount of life insurance required does change. Need 1. We'd recommend the client purchase $80,000 of whole life insurance. This would cover her final expenses even if she dies late in life. Need 2. Right now, the insured would need about $884,000 of term life insurance money invested at 5% in order to replicate her family's share of her income given she dies. Notice that about $1,084,000 is needed given she were to die at age 50 instead. We see here that it's important to consider time in a life insurance needs analysis. Selling a client $884,000 worth of coverage for this particular need is the right amount today, but her family would find itself underinsured if she were to die at age 50 instead. 3. Right now, the insured needs about $319,000 worth of term life insurance to make up for unfunded retirement contributions. This amount declines until age 51, at which point her retirement plan is fully funded given she dies. Remember, in this example, we are targeting 75% of the couple's planned retirement balance, given the insured never makes it to retirement. Need 4. If the insured were to die today, $52,580.24 is the appropriate amount of life insurance to fully fund her child's 4-year college degree. But look down at age 53. If she were to die then, she'd need about twice as much of this term life insurance to fully fund her child's college education. If she were to die now, the funds would have time to grow. But if she dies instead near the time the child starts college, the time value of money would be lost. Again, it's crucial to include time when determining the life insurance need. Need 5. This is the mortgage payoff. Given she were to die today, $363,190.21 of term life insurance would pay off the couple's mortgage. The second to last column is the total term life insurance needed at each age. Financial planners could recommend stacking various term life policies in anticipation of the declining need for term life insurance for this particular client. As the insured ages, the premium savings could be put to a more productive use, such as using them to purchase long-term care insurance. The last column is the total amount of life insurance needed at each age. That is, it's the whole life amount plus the term life insurance amount. This information appears on the right-hand side of the output sheet. So how much insurance should our client purchase right now? What I did is I entered 0 at the top. In other words, if you die in 0 years, you'd collect $80,000 of whole life insurance. That's the amount of whole life insurance she should purchase. She should hold that policy for her entire life. And she also needs a term life insurance policy in the amount of about $1.6 million. And about $884,000 of that amount would be used for a salary replacement fund if she were to die now. And about $319,000 of that would be used for the unmet retirement contributions fund. About $53,000 would be used to set up an education fund, and about $363,000 is what would be required right now to pay off the mortgage. So how much life insurance should our client have 15 years from today? So I simply entered 15 in the top row. If you die in 15 years. She should still have her $80,000 whole life policy in force to pay for the funeral and other final expenses. And she'd have hopefully at least $1,352,000 of term life insurance. About $1,061,000 would be required for her salary replacement fund. She doesn't need anything for her unmet retirement contributions fund. Her retirement plan would be fully funded, for her husband anyway, given she's gone. The education fund would require about $100,000, and it would require about $191,000 to pay off the family's mortgage. So you can put in at the top there any number of years from now, and it will tell you how much life insurance she should have at that point in time. I hope you make good use of this spreadsheet. I do suggest you check the accuracy of the amounts of life insurance it recommends. Goodbye.